All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are diving into a really fascinating puzzle. What is the logic behind decisions that look, well, completely illogical? We're going to unpack why sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from a leap of faith that, to anyone on the outside, just looks nuts.
So, right off the bat, here's the big question. Why would anyone do this? You've seen these stories a million times, right? People who risk absolutely everything on a wild idea. They walk away from a steady paycheck, they sink their life savings into it, all for something with zero guarantee. What is going on there?
Okay, so picture this. We've got person A. She's got a sick partner, a 4-year-old kid, a stable job, and no business background at all. I mean, every rational bone in your body would scream, stay put, don't risk it. But she doesn't. She quits and starts a company. And it's not a one-off. How about person B? Just graduated, has no experience, no data, no connections, basically nothing but a burning desire. The smart, logical advice? Go get a job, learn the industry first. But nope, he jumps in headfirst and starts his own business. These are exactly the kinds of crazy decisions we need to understand.
So yeah, these stories are what we're digging into first. We're calling it the entrepreneur's crazy leap. What is it that pushes people like person A and person B to hit go when all the rational signs are flashing bright red?
To figure that out, we first have to look at the old map, the traditional way we think about making rational choices. For years, experts have been kind of stuck, arguing over what being rational even means. And for a long time, it's been this big fight between two main ideas. You've got the by-the-book crowd who say rationality is all about pure logic, spreadsheets, and calculating probabilities. Then you've got the street-smart crowd who argue it's about using heuristics, those mental shortcuts and gut feelings to make pretty good decisions when you don't have all the facts. But here's the thing. Neither of these really explains our entrepreneurs, do that. They didn't have the data for book smarts, and they didn't have the experience for street smarts. And that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? What do you do when the uncertainty isn't just a little bit of fog, but a total whiteout? When your logic has nothing to work with and your gut is silent, that's where the old map just completely fails. And this is where things get really interesting. The paper we're looking at offers a totally new way to think about this. It says, hey, instead of looking at how people reason, let's look at why. Let's focus on the motivation. It's a game changer.
And this idea creates a super important distinction. On one side, you have motivational rationality. Think of this as your brain's mission being to find the cold, hard truth. It's trying to see reality as clearly as possible. But then there's motivational irrationality. Here, the mission isn't truth at all. The mission is to satisfy some other powerful urge, hope, passion, a burning desire. And to do that, your brain might actually ignore reality just to give you the push you need to act. Okay, so this table lays it all out really nicely. We have 3 ways of making decisions. First, there's the analytical approach. That's your pure logic and stats. Its motivation is rational. Second, heuristic, using your gut and experience. Also motivationally rational, just aiming for good enough. But then there's this third one, this wild card, heuristic. And look at that, its motivation is irrational. Its tools are blind faith and wishful thinking. Its goal isn't to be right, it's to get something else.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This heuristic thing, it sounds like a recipe for absolute disaster, right? Just delusional thinking. But here's the twist. The paper argues that sometimes this reality be damned approach isn't just helpful, it's the only thing that works. Okay, get ready because this graph right here, this is the heart of the whole idea. It shows us how useful each of our 3 approaches is as uncertainty goes from low to high. Let's break it down piece by piece. So over on the far left, you've got low uncertainty. Things are pretty predictable. And what works best? Yep, that blue line, analytics, is way up top. Makes total sense. When you have the numbers, you run the numbers, it gives you the best results. But then, as you move into the middle, things get a bit messy. The data's not so great anymore. And look what happens. That gray line, heuristics, starts to climb and overtakes analytics. This is where your gut, your experience, your street smarts, this is where they really shine. But then, look all the way to the right. This is extreme uncertainty, the wild unknown. And both analytics and heuristics they completely fall apart. Their usefulness plummets. They can actually lead you down the wrong path. But something else is happening. A new line is rising. And that rising orange line, my friends, is heuristics. This is the big reveal.
When you are totally lost, when logic and experience tell you to freeze, the only thing that can get you to move is something that isn't rational. It's that blind faith, that obsession, that I don't care what the data says, I'm doing this energy, that breaks the stalemate. It's the fuel for action when the rational engine has stalled.
So what does this all mean for us, for you? Well, it's not just some academic idea. It has huge real-world implications. It means we need to talk about how to harness your inner fool in a smart way. So if you're an entrepreneur, what's the takeaway? It's that sometimes you kind of have to believe in something that isn't quite true yet just to get off the ground. If you're an investor betting on the next big thing, maybe you should look for that spark of irrational passion, not just a perfect spreadsheet. And for all the teachers out there, it's a warning. If we only teach by-the-book logic, we might be stamping out the very spark that leads to creation. And this all brings us to this incredible quote from the great James G. March, which just nails it. Survival may also be served by the heroism of fools and the blindness of true believers. It's a paradox, right? Progress isn't just about careful planning. It's also about the people who are just crazy enough to ignore the odds. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Think about your own life. Those moments of total paralyzing uncertainty, when the map was blank and the rules didn't help. What was it that actually pushed you forward? Was it a calculation? Or was it something else entirely?